President of Pennsylvania State University, and I join in welcoming you to our commencement today. We will open with our national anthem, led by Ms. Julia N. Wolcott of the School of Music, accompanied by the Center Brass Quintet.
Currently, Mr. Augustine is a member of the advisory councils to the Department of Homeland Security,
Department of Energy, the American Philosophical Society, and the Council on Foreign Affairs. He is a fellow of the National Academy of Arts and Sciences and the Explorers Club. Mr. Augustine earned his bachelor's and master's degrees in engineering at Princeton University. Please join me in welcoming Norman Augustine to Penn State.
Thank you, President Spinner, for those very generous words and for the honor of being able to participate in this very illustrious occasion. All those kind words that you shared remind me of my first day on the faculty at Princeton, after having spent my entire career up until that time either in business or in government. I was invited to deliver the welcoming lecture to the incoming freshman engineers. As the dean was introducing me, I wasn't paying any particular attention to what he was saying. I was flipping through my lecture notes. Until Sunday, I heard a remark, and now we will hear from Professor Augustine. And this is true. For just an instant, the thought went through my mind, gee, what a coincidence, they must have some guy here on the same day as me. As those of you whom we recognize today know, the degree you will receive is a very great honor. To receive a degree from Penn State University is a particularly great honor. I first visited this university exactly 50 years ago on a recruiting trip for the California company for which I worked at the time. I still recall how impressed I was with the intellect, dedication, and practicality of the students that I met. Yours is indeed a remarkable institution with a deserved reputation for excellence. Having begun as a basically agricultural institution some 155 years ago, Penn State has become what today is one of the world's truly great research universities. Somehow, you seem to manage to eclipse even your extraordinary reputation for excellence and scholarly pursuits. For example, when I recently Googled Penn State University, what came up on my screen was Penn State football. I would like to recognize the people whose support and encouragement have been so important in helping each of you reach the milestone that this ceremony represents. So to your parents, grandparents, brothers and sisters, husbands, wives, aunts and uncles, cousins, teachers, classmates, friends, this is your day too. In thinking about the remarks I might make on such a special occasion, I solicited advice from my wife of 49 years. She thought for a moment and then counseled, well, whatever you do, don't try to sound intellectual or clever or charming, just be yourself. subscribe to the perspective of that great philosopher, Yogi Berra, who warned, if you don't know where you're going, you can end up somewhere else. The problem is that there's simply too many uncontrollable variables in life to get detailed, long-range planning. It's of course important to have a general sense of where you want to go, but it's important to prepare oneself broadly and to take advantage of opportunities as they display themselves. As a colleague of mine used to remind us, when opportunity lies, try to answer the door. During my fourth piece of intended wisdom, I believe that in pursuing a career, it's important to focus selflessly upon present responsibilities and not worry much about the next job or getting ahead. The great irony seems to be that the best way to get ahead is to not try too hard to get ahead. Fifth, I would encourage you to follow worthy pursuits outside of your regular job duties. If you do so, I think you will find much greater satisfaction in life. Some years ago, a business colleague of mine, the vice president of our firm, came to see me on the day he retired. When he said he wasn't sure what he was going to do with his newfound time, I suggested that he become a Red Cross volunteer. 3 years passed before I heard from him again. Then one day, a tattered, water-stained, envelope addressed in pencil showed up in my mail. His letter to me began, "I've just spent the entire day standing in water up to my knees, handing out rolls of toilet paper." He said, "For some reason, I thought of you." And then he continued, and this is important. He said, "It was the finest day of my life." And indeed, such days would be the finest days of your life. Sixth, I'm told that medical school graduations, it is common for the dean to announce, "I'm sorry to inform you that half of what we've taught you is wrong. The problem is we don't know which half." I'm afraid medicine isn't alone to suffer this affliction, which is attributable in good part to the rapid expansion of new knowledge. That means, of course, you'll have to continue your studies and learning throughout your life. The only alternative is to become a professional middle-aged a decade from now. Seventh, there's a saying in life, what happens while you, a saying that life is what happens while you're making plans. Life does have a way of slipping by, take my word for it. Try not to waste it. Try to prioritize how you devote your time. Sadly, you'll find that there are compromises to be made. You can't do everything, but you can do a lot. And finally, we come to that piece of advice for which you've all been waiting, the last piece. I would simply observe that life is not a spectator sport. Life is not a dress rehearsal. The greatest regrets in life are not the opportunities that one has pursued and failed, but the opportunities that one has failed to pursue. New gamers once asked me if I knew why lions built up chipmunks. I assured him that I didn't. And he explained, because if they do, they starve to death. Everyone is periodically confronted with decisions as to whether to remain in their comfort zone, preserve the status quo, or in the words of Robert Frost, take the road less traveled. Well, so much for good advice. Winston Churchill once said, "You can always count on the Americans to do the right thing after they've tried everything else."
C. Garbuth, Chair of Board of Trustees, to authorize the conferring of degrees in this ceremony. Mr. Garbuth is Senior Vice President of Finance and Operations, Treasurer Emeritus of Pennsylvania State University, retiring in 1993 following an illustrious 33-year career at Penn State. Mr. Garbuth is a 1959 graduate of Penn State with a Bachelor of Science degree in Business. He received Penn State's Administrative Excellence Award in 1993 and was honored as a distinguished alumnus in 1995. In 2008, he received the Lions Squad Medal Award. Mr. Garbuth was elected to Penn State's Board of Trustees by the alumni in 1998 and has served since that time. He served as Vice Chair of the Board and was elected Chair in 2010. We are extremely pleased that he is with us today. Mr. Garbuth.
Thank you, President Stan. I want to tell Mr. Augustine that's one of the things that was informative speech. I'm very proud. And I join him in knowing there are a lot of proud faces and people out here in the audience today, and indeed that's as it should be. This is a very special day. And I'm pleased to be with you and bring best wishes